Okay, hello again, everyone. Nice to talk to you again. I think we're just going to do, as I said in the message, we're going to do a Zoom video that you can watch for this week. We'll do a live Zoom class next week. As you know, this Tuesday is a public holiday, so a red day. So those students, we won't have a live class for this week. We'll do it next week. So you can just follow along for this week's class. Let's go through it together. And as I also mentioned in the message, I'm going to send you another little video in a few days to go through the answers for the midweek test to clarify, to make clear any of the questions you may have. Good. Okay, let's have a look at today's material. We'll keep it reasonably short today. We'll go through it pretty quickly. So let me share the screen. What do we got over here? Okay, I'm going to go to present mode. All right, discovery and invention, unit 6. Okay, a bit of AI maybe. So let's go. Okay, the contents for today's class, we're going to watch and understand a video about China's man-made river. You'll see in a minute. We will also analyze the advantages and disadvantages and looking at how to write an introductory paragraph. So, yep, let's watch the video. As I said, take a look, pay attention. Yeah, we'll discuss a little bit afterwards. Oh, hang on, sorry, go back. It didn't work. This is the one.
History.
Oh, sorry, hang on. We'll get the subtitles when I get it on YouTube, which you can watch it on.
History is filled with stories of humans overcoming obstacles through discovery and invention. Take an enormous country like China. What do you do when most of your people live in the north, in cities like Beijing, but most of your water is in the south? You build an artificial river to bring water from the south to the north. This river will be about 750 miles long when it is finished in 2030. And this is it, a giant raised canal or aqueduct. One of the largest engineering projects in the world. Chinese workers and engineers are building the river piece by piece in separate sections. Each section starts as a metal framework. A team of 20 people filled the metal frame. Then the concrete is added. Finally, the section is moved into place using one of the world's most powerful cranes. Each section weighs 1,200 tons, more than 3 commercial airplanes. This woman operates the crane. It's a very important job, and it takes great skill. She must work very carefully so that each section of the artificial river is in the perfect position. The water will flow north to Beijing without using any pumps. So the end of each section must be exactly 1 centimeter lower than the other end. When the river is finished and operating in 2030, the water from the south will reach millions of Chinese people in the north.
Okay, let's keep going. So, yeah, amazing, a huge engineering project. Some of you, I'm sure, are engineers. You'll be planning and building something like this yourselves within a few years. So some discussion questions. Can you think of any other large engineering projects which have helped people to solve a problem? Discuss the problems and their engineering solutions and make a list. And question 2, are there any problems in your city or country which engineering could solve? For example, the building of a new bridge or underground railway system. Discuss the problems and some possible solutions. So take a minute, have a think. What are some large Korean engineering projects or some problems which could be solved by engineering? Yeah, you can stop the video and make a list. All right, so obviously around the world, there are many huge engineering projects, many enormous bridges. You know, in Japan, the bridges join the different islands. Obviously in tunnels, there are tunnels through mountain ranges all around the world. There are tunnels under, you know, for example, between England and France. I'm sure you know the Channel Tunnel. People call it the Channel, like Channel Tunnel, which is like, I don't know, 30 kilometers long or something. And, you know, that's obviously a huge engineering project, which means people can drive or take a train, put their cars on a train when they travel from England, between England and France. Not at the moment, of course, with coronavirus. There are many, many very important engineering projects around the world. Korea has lots of bridges and tunnels, many different things. Problems in your city or country which engineering could solve. Certainly Seoul's subway system is amazing. It would be, the traffic in Seoul would be even more crowded if there wasn't such an amazing subway system. It's, you know, one of the best in the world, maybe the best in the world. It's extremely impressive. And I think the bus system, I don't know if you guys remember, you would have been quite young when they changed the bus system in Seoul to put the buses in the middle lanes in busy parts of the city. And at that time, many people were unhappy and complained and thought it might be too confusing and difficult and, you know, thought it might fail. But it's been very good. And the bus system in Seoul is also excellent. And in other cities all around Korea, the public transport is amazing. But for such a big, crowded city, it's amazing how effective Seoul's public transport system is. That's all about engineering. You know, wide roads was an important planning decision made in the 60s, I believe, when there were not many cars, and thankfully they decided to make very wide roads around the main city centres. And so now, you know, if there weren't very wide roads, the traffic would be crazy. It's still, the traffic still gets busy, but thankfully the buses are great, the subway is excellent. Seoul's engineering, Korea's engineering is extremely good. Discuss problems and some possible solutions. I've got another little video here. This is looking at the Panama Canal. Obviously that was an incredibly important engineering project. So the Panama Canal, I'm sure you know, is between North and South America, goes through Central America. Of course, the Suez Canal goes through between the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea. So between Africa and the Middle East, south of Europe, which again makes shipping so much more practical. You don't have to go around South America or around Africa when going to, you know, to Europe or America or different places. Good, let's have a quick look at this video as well for a minute.
It has been 100 years since the first ship
Sorry, let's get this right.
sailed through the Panama Canal.
That's the one, yep.
In 1881, France began what would become one of the most challenging engineering projects ever undertaken. But disease plagued the French workforce, and after a third of workers fell ill. After almost a decade, work ground to a halt. The canal was sold to the US 15 years later. The French suffered a considerable financial loss. But by the dawn of the 20th century, medical knowledge was finally capable of controlling outbreaks of tropical disease. The Americans opted for a new elevated lock system, which would hoist ships above sea level. Upon completion, the canal had cost a massive $639 million, enough to build 85 Titanics. But after 33 years of construction, the canal had claimed the lives of more than 25,000 people, more than 3/4 of these under French control. That's 500 deaths for every mile of canal. And some believe this toll to be even higher. It was a colossal achievement. A journey from the west coast of America to Europe was cut virtually in half, and from Shanghai to New York by 14%. Two foreign nations were responsible for its construction, and the canal was finally handed over to Panama in 1999. Uniting two oceans for the first time, the canal has earned its place in history as one of the 7 wonders of the modern world.
Okay, that's a pretty amazing engineering achievement. Yep, very good. Let's keep going. Let's have a look. Okay, so in the textbook on page 133, the title is The World of Tomorrow. Yep, so looking at some technology. I'll read through it. What will the world of the next generation look like? And the generation after that? Many people today are confident that technology is going to help solve some of the most challenging problems we have on Earth today, such as global warming and hunger. Other people are worried that while new technology may solve old problems, it may also create new ones. No technology is perfect. Each innovation has advantages and disadvantages. Continuing, when we dream about the future, many of us like to think that we will be able to exit our garages and take to the skies in our own personal flying car. The advantages are obvious. This technology would allow total freedom of movement. We could fly at 480 kilometers per hour, avoiding traffic lights, busy roads, and speeding tickets. However, some people believe there will be problems with traffic control. If the cars become popular, there is likely to be air traffic congestion. Another big problem is mechanical failure. What will happen if the cars break down? These are problems we must expect if flying cars become a reality. Okay, continuing. 3-dimensional printing is another new technology with exciting possibilities for the future. 3D printers are used to build an object with liquid plastic. They build the object layer by layer until it is complete. Car companies already use 3D printers to make life-size models of car parts, and medical companies use the technology to make artificial body parts, such as ears. Before long, it might be possible to see a product on a website and then download it to your 3D printer at home. As we move into the future, 3D printing will revolutionize the way we shop, the way we manufacture, and the way we treat sick people. The downside is that such equipment will be extremely expensive. Finally, imagine having your own Iron Man suit. Several companies are trying to build a practical robot exoskeleton. This is an electronic suit with robot arms and legs, which follows the wearer's movements. Exoskeletons allow you to lift heavy objects walk long distances, and even punch through walls. There are obvious military advantages for this technology, but there are also benefits for rescue workers or people with disabilities. The suit might help people walk again after disease or injury. However, one disadvantage at the moment is cost. Even a simple exoskeleton can cost hundreds of thousands of pounds, British money. Another problem is battery life. A heavy suit like this needs a lot of power and battery life is short. However, these problems will no doubt be solved as lightweight plastic suits become available. Looking ahead, it is not difficult to imagine a future when we will be able to fly to work, print out a new pair of shoes, or lift a car above our heads. Although there are some problems to solve, before all of this is possible, we can certainly dream of a world where technology makes life easier and safer for millions of people. Right, so on page 134 in the textbook, there are some questions. I'll give you a minute to think about these. So firstly, why is mechanical failure a possible problem in a flying car? Number 2, why will flying cars cause traffic congestion instead of reducing it? Number 3, what do you think could be some of the medical benefits of robot suits? And number 4, what could be some of the reasons robotic exoskeletons are expensive? So have a look at those questions. You can pause the video for a moment. I'll give you a minute or two. I'm going to stop the sharing for a moment and just pause. Yep, take a few minutes to look at those questions. Then we'll come back and discuss and check together. Okay, let's go back and have a look at the answers to the discussion questions. Let me just share the screen again. Just a moment, okay. All right, sure. So question 1, why is mechanical failure a possible problem in a flying car? Well, I think pretty obviously, if you have a mechanical problem in a regular car, you can just pull to the side of the road. If you're up in the middle of the air and you have a problem, you're going to fall down and injure yourself and possibly worse, maybe cause some permanent injury like death. So obviously it's extremely dangerous. You need to make sure the safety issues are taken care of. Okay, number 2, why will flying cars cause traffic congestion instead of reducing it? Well, as the article says, if flying cars become extremely popular, there'll be more and more and there'll be congestion anyway in the air. There'll have to be rules, as to where you can fly, what level, etc. And it might get a bit complicated, but congestion means traffic jams, and there could be traffic jams in the air. Sounds pretty strange, but it's obviously possible in the future. What do you think could be some of the medical benefits of robot suits? Right, obviously for people with physical injuries or disabilities, the robot suits could make people able to move around again. Even old people whose muscles and bones are less capable, they could, jump in an Iron Man suit and zoom around as fast as anyone. Number 4, what could be some of the reasons robotic exoskeletons are expensive? Well, I would think obviously the suit, the exoskeleton, will have to fit each individual person. So it would need to be specifically made, custom fit for each person. So they'd have to design separate ones, not just mass production, which would make it expensive. Plus, obviously, the materials need to be light and strong. It needs to be the highest quality materials, which is going to cost some money. So until the technology becomes far more popular and they can produce, the materials more cheaply, it's going to cost a lot. All right, let's keep going. We're going to look now at writing introductory paragraphs. So we've done a little bit of this before, I think, but let's have a look. So in the first paragraph, the introductory paragraph, there are 3 parts. So the hook a hook sentence, background information, and then thesis statement. So let's keep going. The hook, firstly, obviously hook is like, in Korean when you say hook song, in English you'd say like a catchy song. It's easy to remember, it hooks you like a fishing hook. The purpose of a hook is to get the reader interested in the topic, so he or she will want to keep reading. So it needs to be something fun, interesting, shocking. So it can be a statement, a definition, question, a fact or a statistic, or a quotation, of course, direct speech, a quotation. Some examples: in 2014, Americans spent 6.9 billion hours sitting in traffic. Statistic: imagine what we could do with all that time if we did not need to commute. Yeah, it's a question, yeah. Many nations are running out of water. However, a company has invented a machine which turns water from the air into water you can drink. Yeah, so again, it's giving some statements, some interesting information that is easy to remember. Okay, the next part of the introductory paragraph is giving background information. This helps the readers understand the essay, and it can include an explanation of the words, of words or phrases, historical information, data, American, and statistics, or a general explanation of a topic. So here, this is an electronic suit with robot arms and legs, which follows the wearer's movements. It's just explaining the extra information that you need to know to properly understand the topic. Okay, the thesis statement is a critical part that sets the structure of your essay to come. So it's usually the last sentence in an introduction. It gives a preview of the essay, and it contains the topic and the point of view, the main opinion, what you're going to discuss and try to argue in favor of or against. Yeah. So flying cars may reduce congestion on the ground, but they may create additional problems such as congestion in the air and pollution. Yep, so it gives you the basic main argument and then gives a summary of your main reasoning, your main points in favor of your argument. Yep, so here congestion in the air and pollution are two main points to support the main argument. Yeah, which is, they might cause additional problems. Reduce congestion, but cause problems. For example, congestion in the air and pollution. This thesis statement informs the reader that the topic, flying cars, will be followed by both advantages and disadvantages of flying cars. So going back to page 133, the reading we did before, I'll give you a few minutes again just to have a look and think about it yourself, maybe write down some notes. So the questions are, where is the hook? Yep, where's the hook? Does it get your attention? What kind of background information does the paragraph include? According to the thesis statement, what is the topic of the article? What is the point of view? How many paragraphs will the body of the article probably have? What will each paragraph probably discuss? Which of the two introductions makes you more interested as a reader? So take a minute, pause the video, go back and read through page 133, either in your book or in the slides that we just, on the slides that we just looked at, and we'll discuss in a minute. So yep, take your time, come back to the video. Okay, well, when you're back here, I've got the textbook in front of me, so I'm gonna use that. Where's the hook? Does it get your attention? So where is the hook sentence? It's in the introductory paragraph, of course. So then which sentence, where's the hook sentence? It's often the first sentence, usually the first It's usually one of the first couple of sentences. Here it's a question. What will the world of the next generation look like? And the generation after that. It's kind of two sentences, but it catches you immediately with a question, making you wonder and think what will happen in the technology of the future. So it's the first sentence. Does it get your attention? Yeah, I think it does a reasonably good job, making you think and wonder what the rest of the essay is about. Okay, what kind of background information does the paragraph include? It then explains. In the first paragraph, many people today are confident that technology is going to help solve some of the most challenging problems we have on Earth today, such as global warming and hunger. Other people are worried that while new technology may solve old problems, it may also create new ones. It's giving you some extra information to understand about the topic that you will discuss. Yep. So the start of the introductory paragraph is the hook sentence. The next couple of sentences are the background information. Then the thesis statement. Here it's the last sentence in the first paragraph. No technology is perfect. Each innovation has advantages and disadvantages, as these three examples illustrate. So according to the thesis statement, what is the topic of the article? It's the advantages and disadvantages of technology. What's the point of view? Yep, they're saying no technology is perfect. It's giving you the good and the bad points. How many paragraphs will the body of the article probably have? The topic sentence says there will be 3 examples. So I think this will follow a fairly standard 5-paragraph essay with an introductory paragraph, 3 main body paragraphs, each one describing, outlining one of the examples. And then, of course, the final paragraph is the conclusion. So, yeah. So how many paragraphs will the body of the article probably have? So 3. Yep, 3 body paragraphs, 1 for each example. Yes, what will each paragraph probably discuss? Each one of the examples, as I mentioned. Good. Which of the 2 introductions makes you more interested as a reader? Yeah, I think having the hook sentence there is obviously an important way to make you interested. So yeah, anyway, I think that's an important way to get the reader sort of focused and, you know, curious to find out more about the essay to come. Okay, righto, you can double check all of that. Here, the advantages and disadvantages on page 137. Yeah, the flying car, 3D printing and robot suit. That's right. That's all good. And then here are some conversation questions. Again, maybe we'll have a quick discussion about this in the live Zoom class, which we will have not this week, but next week. Yep, so the week, what are we? This week, Monday is the 4th of May. So next Monday, we'll be starting the 11th of May. So the week starting the 11th of May, in that week, we'll have a Zoom class, and we'll discuss a few of these things in that class, as well as the new materials, which I will prepare for the Zoom class that we will have together live the week after this one. Okay, very good. So take a look at those questions. You can think of your own answers. There's no homework this week. You'll be very, very sad to hear. Good luck with the rest of your midterm tests and exams. I'll send another video in a couple of days just to go over all of the answers to the midterm, for the midterm, so you can make sure you understand exactly, you know, what you got right and what you got wrong and why. And I'll give it just a short video explanation of all the answers so you can understand exactly, you know, what you need to do for next time. Very good. Okay, that's enough, I think. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Keep safe, have a good week, and talk to you again on Zoom live next week. Okay, thank you. See you later. Bye-bye.